aftermath of the state of the dictatorship with the traitor-in-chief, the saboteur-in-chief. What's the best way to describe it? The subversive-in-chief. Notice how everything he says is the complete opposite. We are not afraid, which invokes fear of guns, which is all they do is fearmonger about guns. All of his surrogates, all of the establishment, oh my gosh, gun violence is up, oh, we're all dead, oh, it's the #1 cause of death, oh, it's so evil. I think it's actually like, last time I checked in the World Almanac for last year, it's like the 15th cause of death in the U.S., and it's down by 51% since 1992. FBI Unified Crime Statistics, I mean, this is all on record. Overall, crimes with guns, just violent crimes, down 51% with guns. It was 61%. I mean, that's even mainstream news after we put the numbers out, you know, took the numbers the Justice Department had put out via the FBI early last year and then dissected it, and then the media finally picked up on it. LA Times said gun crime plunges, but public perceives that it's escalating because it's all a giant con game. And we did live coverage of it. It's been archived up to prisonplanet.tv. We have a great crew, stayed up till like 11 o'clock last night getting it all done. And, of course, it was like a 2+ hour special marathon news transmission show. It, for some reason, didn't encode right and get uploaded, but it's now available if you missed the live transmission from 7 o'clock last night until about 9:30 Central, so I guess it was 2.5 hours. If you missed any of that, it is now up at prisonplanet.tv. And with our very small crew, they did a superb job. Not just the reporters, not just myself, but the people behind the scenes like Marcos Morales and Rob Dew and Darren McBreen and just everyone that is here. There's so many, but I just want to thank them all for the great job they did last night. State of the Tyrant, Obama's 2014 State of the Union. Josh Owens was helping as well. Glenn Trolls, John Bound. John Bound is just doing the job of 3 or 4 people. And I'm trying to figure out who to put in charge of what officially up here. But we're all so busy running and gunning in the fight as history just unfolds in front of us that, quite frankly, my head is spinning. I need a vacation just to be able to settle down, get a breather, look at all the stuff I need to do, a film I need to finish, the studio's done, satellite uplinks, the rollout, the redesign of InfoWars and Prison Planet is ready. Bugs are almost worked out. It's like pregnancy, ladies and gentlemen, for us. Just like the tyranny is pregnant at 9 months, liberty is pregnant 9 months, and not just with us. Everywhere, the liberty movement's explosion is ripening.
Now you can watch The Alex Jones Show live as it happens at Infowars.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for Prison Planet TV.
More than 60 movies and documentaries all in one place at Infowars.com/show.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, it is not the sunshine summer patriot that we need here that goes to the football games and waves American flags, having no idea what that flag symbolizes. And I'm not knocking people that like the American flag. It is people that recognize what the flag symbolizes, not what it's been expropriated for, not what it's been captured, not what it's been used for, but it's those that recognize that compared to every other system, it's been the best. And that's why the true Americana system is under attack. And people ask who I am and what I stand for. I am a constitutional, libertarian, freedom lover who is a human empowerment activist. And I don't like thugs and psychopaths and goons and tyrants and gangs and usurpers. Any more than if I was out on the African plain, I'd like a pride of lions trying to eat me. I am not food. I am not here for a predator class to feed on and lie to and keep in the dark and feed me you-know-what like mushrooms. That's an old politician saying from 80 years ago that What do you do with the public? You keep them in the dark and feed them horse manure like mushrooms. A Tale of Two Cities, since I just mentioned that. Chapter 1, The Period. Book 1, Recalled to Life. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going directly the other way. In short, this period was so far like the present period that some of its noisiest authorities insisted on being received for good or for evil in the superlative degree of comparison only. That's, people used to just read whole books written that well. Don't you wish you could talk like that and write like that? You think we're getting better or are we getting worse overall? It's the best of times, worst of times. We're getting better in some ways, but the goal of the social engineers, because really it's easier to make something ugly. It's easier to pull something down. It's easier to cheat. They then claim that this is their system of subversion, and then their system of destabilization, and then their system of crisis, implosion, and then reorganization. And the truth is, you guys don't reorganize anything. The truth is, you wreck stuff, and then you feed on the incredible wealth of the human spirit, ingenuity, and mind, and then claim that you have directed and built everything. When the truth is, you have just plowed through the human psyche and civilization, causing irrevocable damage to the DNA, the very fabric of the human biosphere for thousands of years. The predator, parasite, psychopath, malfunctioning class are mentally ill and are a cancer. It's really very, very simple. Okay, so you're not superior. You're not better than us. Those of us that do have empathy, those of us that are nice, those of us that like other people being successful, just because we don't have a desire to run everything doesn't mean we are losers in your whole social Darwinistic facade. The truth is, you are a bunch of kleptocratic, obsessive-compulsive, megalomaniacal, preening, drooling, spiritually dead individuals. I was watching last night live during the State of the Union. A lot of you were watching, and we simulcasted it on the InfoWars Nightly News and InfoWarsNews.com, PrisonPlanet.tv. We had a 2.5-hour special live news last night with Leanne McAdoo, Jakari Jackson, David Knight, and yours truly, Alex Jones. And it's now up on PrisonPlanet.tv for members in full. But the point is, I have never seen a more demoralized, weak, wraith-like looking group of assembled evildoers. Twisted, Skeksis-like, really apparitions. And then I can see a few congressmen and women who I know are good people, at least halfway good in the political system. Even the political system knows how to manipulate the false political paradigm that has some truth in it, but not much, and they're able to swim in that false projection, but they're really naive. The political class is naive to a great extent, and the reason we're able to have such headway is they're in it, and they're immersed in the compartmentalization, and they hear shows like this one, and they see the analysis we put out. That's why Congress does pick up on what we say. That's foreign governments do as well. That's all on record. Russian government, Syrian government, U.S. government, the Pentagon more than anybody, because they're trying to make sense of it, of this twisted, multi-layered attack from all sides, full-spectrum dominance program that is really just the devil's program put out by the devil's stud. to kill, steal, and destroy. There is no rhyme or reason to it at the end of the day. It's not just about power. The incredible emptiness of raw power is a gulf to behold. It is absolutely cold, and to someone that doesn't lust after it, very, very empty. But I was watching last night as Obama came in, and as Democrats and a lot of Republicans groveled to him and would see the TV camera and get all excited, and you could tell, or flushing in the face, that they ran for office for mayor or county commissioner and then to state house and then to get into the House or the Senate. These people have spent 30, 40 years getting into a power position so they could bid rig and run scams and insider trade and exempt themselves from the law, so that they don't want power so they can protect their family or so they can have a big private jet or so they can, you know, have some excuse for wanting to be rich, itself a prison. They absolutely want to perch like peacocks or cockatoos in a tree, showing off their feathers. It is so primitive, it is so pathetic, and it is scary to realize we are ruled by that political membrane that the special interest use as a facade so that they don't get the blame for their programs. And to just look at that collection. This is the only description I have. They had a mummy exhibition down in San Antonio a few years ago, and I was down there with my wife and children. And my wife said, I don't want to go to that. That sounds gross. And I thought, no, it was advertised as Egyptian stuff. I wanted to see the Egyptian. I'd seen Egyptian mummies in New York and Dallas and places, and I'm not into seeing a mummy. I was into, no, it was a collection of dead bodies. They had a Nazi collection there where this top Nazi general was obsessed with dead bodies and had all these mummies, and they had stuff from Europe just 200 years ago, and they had Egyptian mummies, and they had dead babies and everything. And I almost vomited when I got out of there. In fact, we went through it as quickly as we could. And everyone else was about to vomit in there. And when I was looking at those people last night, I almost vomited. I almost threw up. I actually had vomit come up in my throat when I was looking at the weird narcissistic eyes and the little vampire smiles and the little and all the pedophiles and pervs and all of them, and I was having like flashbacks to those mummies, and I was like, and then McAdoo was right beside me. I don't want to vomit in front of her, and I was physically becoming ill looking at this pile. It's like there's famous footage of Hermann Goering, the head of the Luftwaffe and a bunch of other stuff. You know, the big fat Nazi German, the World War I ace, heroin addict. And they're in there with the Warsaw Pact, and that was before that, selling out Poland with the Russians. And they're all rubbing their hands together and smiling like little piggy dolls. And, you know, I could see that footage. It's famous footage when I was a kid. It was funny. Look at those stupid dictators. It wasn't stupid. They had hundreds of millions of people under their control, and they did horrible things. And it was also, they could sit around and rub their hands together that they had just gone and divided Poland and killed hundreds of thousands of people on the takeover. And that's what it really comes down to, is we have to not even hate these people, but really realize how pathetic they are. And that's the good news, before I come back and give you my analysis of the State of the Union, is that they really are pathetic. But that's also the bad news, because that makes them even more dangerous. They don't realize how pathetic they are, and they can end up having a nuclear war or a bioweapons release.
The facts are in. The studies are legion. Sodium fluoride and other members of the fluorine family that are added to Western water supplies are devastating the health and cognitive ability of the people that drink it. So the question is, why are the social engineers adding it to the water? Simple. Dumb down the host population that the parasitic technocracy is feeding on. We developed Fluoride Shield to be the highest quality, highest standards, because I use it every day and my family uses it every single day. Let's take a closer look at the ingredients that make up this special proprietary formula. Tamarind has been celebrated for its ability to immobilize toxic fluoride residues, while zeolites have a long history of attracting and holding toxic compounds. Enter fulvic acid, an excellent cleansing agent. Then we added the highest quality shilajit, a rare compound that is collected from the high mountains of the Himalayas. We topped it all off with the powerhouse herb cilantro that is intended to mobilize fluoride and other dangerous compounds for removal from the body. And the final touch to energize this formula is our proprietary nascent iodine. And as always, consult your physician as well, because that is important. And finally, Fluoride Shield, Survival Shield, and all the products at InfoWarsLife.com grew out of my quest to try to find the very best compounds from God's cornucopia to protect myself and my family. And from our research, I believe we are bringing you the best, highest quality products. And you have that commitment from Alex Jones and the entire InfoWars crew.
You go to drudgereport.com, at least when I checked it a few minutes ago, he even has an image up there showing the Russian bank not letting people get their money out. And that's our article from InfoWars.com. And again, if people are in denial about that, it's also Bloomberg reporting on that. So Zero Hedge is also reporting on that. We're going to be breaking that down with Salente coming up. By the way, my voice sounds deeper than normal. The cedar fever, we call them cedar down here. It's really juniper from Europe and the Middle East that's invasive and has taken over and killed most of the oak trees in the last 150 years. And it's an accursed plant that has horrible, horrible pollen when it grows the way it does here. They're supposed to be like 100 feet tall. Well, here they grow like 20 feet tall, and they're just everywhere, and they use like 5 times the water of an oak or a elm or any other noble tree. They're the most ignoble demons. And it's like that movie, The Happening, where the trees release a toxin to kill all the humans. I mean, that's literally what's going on here. I mean, if there was a government program and a government tax in Travis County or surrounding areas to eradicate them, I would support that. That would be government doing a good thing. That is a public health issue. It's like nerve gas or something. I mean, it is. You can see yellow in the blowing outside. Like, an example of an invasive species. And you walk outside. I need a respirator to go out there. Now, because I drink more water and I take my supplements, 5 years ago, I had to take off for a week when this stuff was really, I mean, the trees are now orange. Ladies and gentlemen, they're supposed to be green. They're orange. They're evergreens with the pollen, and they actually go and just shoot it out like nerve gas. And it's just clouds of this stuff. And you know, I don't even so much hate the trees as I loathe them. I want them out of my universe. They are horrible parasitic creatures, and across the board. Oh, they won't let us cut them down, though, because they claim a golden cheek warbler lives in them. Well, if the golden cheek warbler nests in them, morons, then explain to me what it did before the German and Polish and Czech settlers, some of my ancestors, but still, wish I could punch them in the nose. They didn't know what they were doing. Brought these stinking things over here. And by the way, I'm now seeing them in California. Californians, you better kill these immediately. And we actually have video of them when they release. Look at that. You're watching us on prisonplanet.tv. I mean, this is what I'm bombarded with.
Hello, this is Hank Hill, and I'm telling you what, you need to listen to Alex Jones.
Yeah. Infowars.com, yeah.
My judge, what is the secret of the universe?
Infowars.com, yeah.